How you doing? I put a stack of books together. My name is Louis, and I work for French Quarter Literature. But on my own, I have a stack of books that I would like to read, and just thought I would put it out there. First thing is something from French Quarter Lit, a biography of Tennessee Williams by John Lahr. And of course, the cancel classic, The Nigger of the Narcissus by Joseph Conrad. The title makes it canceled, impossible to teach in a modern classroom. Next up is Goring. You notice that the books are not cracked. This is the infamous pilot, Luftwaffe hero. And this is a bio. Next up, this pile of books to read is very diverse. Pedro Lemebel, a Chilean American, A Last Supper of Queer Apostles, selected essays. A couple of years ago, I went to Miami and I bought this tour book. I'd like to read it, learn more about Miami. New York Art Deco, A Guide to Gotham's Jazz Age Architecture, which thankfully still graces Manhattan. A lot of Manhattan and the Bronx, but unfortunately not so much Staten Island where I live. A Brief History of France, before the Revolution, after the Revolution, up until today. I need to learn about my people. My last name is Bardel, which is French. The Radiant, The Life and Line of Keith Haring. I love this period. Warhol, Basquiat, Keith Haring. Keith Haring was a daring graffiti artist who did his thing in the subway, got arrested many times. And here's a story I know very well, but I didn't read it. Dashiell Hammett's The Maltese Falcon. Gotta read it. I saw the movie many times with Humphrey Bogart. And of course, the inimitable Gabriel Garcia Marquez, Clandestine in Chile. Hey, we got a little Chilean theme going on, huh? Patricia Highsmith's Ripley Underground, a continuation of the Talented Mr. Ripley saga. And this book is interesting. I didn't know anything about Mario Vargas Llosa and his book, The Bad Girl, but I am very impressed with the translations by Edith Grossman, and that's why I bought this book. And of course, here's another one, a classic. Goldfinger, part of the James Bond series by the British spy Ian Fleming. And another inimitable guy, Woody Allen. What's with Bomb? I met his daughter, by the way, Bechet. Totally by accident. I was in a museum. She works in a museum uptown in Manhattan. And I walked into the office, and there she was. And I stood there with my mouth open. I said, "Are you Woody Allen's daughter?" I knew it was. Here's one of China's greats, Mo Yan. I think he won the Nobel Prize for Literature. And here is Big Breaths and Wide Hips by Mo Yan. Mo Yan. The Black Prince of Baseball, Hal Chase, and the mythology of the game. He was a great player, but he couldn't stay in the league because he was a crook. Here's another one about the pop culture era, Warhol and Basquiat and Keith Haring and all kinds of people. I think this is what's her name? Edie. She was in a lot. Edie Sedgwick. She was in a lot of his movies. And then, of course, Warhol got cut down by Valerie Solanas, and she shot him in the gut several times, and he almost died. Here's one that is getting a lot of attention. This is called Hamnet, and it's about Shakespeare's son who died at an early age. Hamnet, of course, sounds a lot like Hamlet. And, of course, it makes me wonder about this idea that Shakespeare wasn't Shakespeare, that it was impossible for him to do what he did, and it was somebody else. Here's Death Money by Henry Chang, who I actually met in Chinatown. And he writes about the gangs of Chinatown in the 60s and 70s. Death Money. You know, it's interesting. Chinatown, the gangs were using the kids to do all the dirty work, you know, teenagers. And finally, when these teenagers wised up and said, you know, we're doing all the dirty work. Why do we have to listen to these old guys tell us what to do? So they took over and they kicked the old guys to the curb. The young bucks took over the criminal industry in Chinatown. And finally, something from French Quarter Literature, not published by French Quarter Literature, but part of that French Quarter Literature genre, called Butterfly in the Typewriter, and it's a biography of John Kennedy Toole, whose life ended sadly, and he wrote Confederacy of Dunces, which a lot of people find hysterical. A lot of people report laughing out loud in public places and feeling very embarrassed, like on buses or something, you know. But it was a great book, and I enjoyed it because I lived in the French Quarter for about 6 months, and I lived in New Orleans for about 5 years, which is where the title French Quarter Literature came about. You know, I started a tour company in 2001, and it grew into a publishing company as well. So if I move down to New Orleans, I will start that tour up again. And I have great ideas for that tour, and I have great ideas for French Quarter Literature. And thank you for letting me share my reading list. This is Louis, signing out.